Good morning, this is Jean here, Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for You. I'm sitting in my little wooded glade here, my early morning walk, after an incredibly adventuresome last several weeks that I have several stories if you want to hear them. Oh my word. You must excuse me. We got in very late last night and I just thought, oh, I'm gonna make a video before I start unpacking and doing everything. Quilting. I've been on my world adventures. Not really. Let me just say from about 2 weeks ago, right before our Memorial Day weekend. Oh, I'm just looking at myself. I have to just explain something very quickly. You must excuse me when I wear my sunglasses. These are my cheap Jack sunglasses, not my great ones, but I hope maybe you can see my eyes. I have to wear sunglasses, even if they're cheap or they're expensive. As you know, our son and his wife bought me nice sunglasses. I had meningitis. I nearly died of meningitis about 35 years ago, and it's affected my eyes. So my eyes are very, very sensitive. And so I have to wear sunglasses. Even the cheaper ones are the more expensive ones. So I don't like talking to people who have sunglasses on. So today I put on these these ones. Maybe you can see my eyes, but my eyes are really, really shot today because we got in late last night, and I'll come to that. About 2 weeks ago, as you know, we were just sort of home, sitting around. Well, what happens is every year, our children, and we used to, but all of our children, our 10 children, go to a place called Trueloves. If any of you are from Pennsylvania, you'll know what that is. It's an amusement park. And it's almost like stepping back in time. It's lovely. It's from it was built in the 40s or 50s or something, and they still have the same sort of concessionaries and rides. It's free to get in. You can walk around. It's really quite lovely. And what happens is every year our children, all of our grown children, with all of the grandchildren, they camp at Trueloves. There's one particular street. Camping sites, about 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, that our children take up the whole road. And they mostly have campers. They used to go in tents, but our one son has a pop-up, RVs, that type of thing. They're right under the what is it? Not the Phoenix, the other, which other? The roller coaster. They're right under the roller coaster, right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put up a few pictures of our weekend there. We did not stay there. I'm not a camper. If you remember one of our previous videos, we owned an RV and a pop-up. We gave the pop-up to our son, and then we sold the RV. Ian and I stayed in a small hotel about 4 miles away, quite nice. Old, but very, very clean. Maxwell, he wanted to be a camper, so he wanted to set up a tent that we have. Well, let me just say, that was a lovely weekend if it hadn't rained. If you're on the East Coast, the Memorial Day weekend was pretty much a washout for everybody. Down the shore, down our coastline in Jersey. It was a shame. The boys that had the pop-ups, or no, the boys that had the trailers that they towed, they were okay, and they actually tent the entire area with these pop-up tents, the pop-up canopies, I should say. So they were pretty. wasn't. Maxwell ended up in our son Niles' tent, a very, very huge tent that his family had lent him, and they woke up wet. Niles is like, my pillow was wet. Maxwell, I said, do you want to come back to the little hotel room with us? And he's like, no, he was going to be a firm camper. He's like, no, I'm okay. And he was a trooper for 3 days. The second and third night he slept in one of our other kids' trailers on the bed they made up for him. But it was lovely. We had a chance to be with the grandchildren. All the grandchildren bar 2, a baby and an older grandchild, couldn't make it. And our son Elliot wasn't there. All of our family was there, about 34 of us. On this one camping thing, we took up the whole road. Elliot was down in Florida getting ready to be married. And then, that's my second part of my story. We went to Florida. But for now, I'm going to be putting up some pictures of everyone that you see are our grandchildren or our sons or our daughter-in-laws or our son-in-law. There's a group photo. We weren't in it. The group photo, we had arrived about 10 minutes early, 10 minutes later. The group photo is my family. Bar 2 people. My daughter-in-law brought her father, an older gentleman, and then there's a little random kid who is one of our little grandson's friends, Brody. He's in the little green sweatshirt, so he's not ours. But the rest of them are our children and our grandchildren. I'll put up a few pictures. It was lovely. It was lovely. It wasn't like a magical family weekend because it was miserable. I'm the first to agree. I'm like, I'm out of here. We had taken the children on the Sunday, some of the grandchildren, into the park for rides and everything, and that was sweet. But then it started to chuck down with rain, and after a while, I'm like, forget these kids. I'm out of here. and we just had fun. It was really sweet. We took all the little grandchildren on the rides that they could qualify for. But I hope you enjoy the pictures. That was my weekend. So we came home on the Sunday, Memorial Day, whenever that was, May 30th. We had a rest and we packed for our trip to Florida. We went to Florida on the Tuesday, June 1st. Our son's wedding was June 5th.
Is that fun?
Welcome to Fort Lauderdale. For the local time is 11:46 a.m. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is turned off, and keep the aisles clear.
It's sunny Florida here. It's raining.
They're going to do that to our plane. They're going to put it out next to the door of the plane so we can walk out.
Sunny Florida, escaping the brutal rain up in Pennsylvania. Yep, here we are. In a park outside in Florida in 100-degree weather. You know me, I hate the heat. What I wouldn't do. We went, and I'm sitting here and looking at myself, and I'm like, I haven't had a shower or anything because we had a very late night, and I'll tell you what happened there. I just wanted to get this video up. It's sweltering here. It is sweltering in Pennsylvania. There was a heat wave, and then last night, again, I'll come to that. We were delayed on the airplane because there was violent storms here. Anyway, let me back up. We got on the airplane on June the 5th, June the 1st. Our son took us to the airport, Philadelphia Airport, and we had our luggage and everything. I don't pack too lightly. I like to have a change of clothes, but we were going to Fort Lauderdale, and our son owns a house down there, and he rents it out as an Airbnb. So he had... It said Mom and Dad, he blocked out that week for us, for Elliot's wedding. It was real sweet. So we had an accommodation to go to, and he had his car shipped down there, so we had a vehicle. It was very nice. Very nice. So, it's starting to rain. Well, I'm here in the woods here. I hope it'll cool things down. I'm a frizzy mess, right? I might have to take this inside if it gets too wet. But the canopy of trees here is lovely. So we got on the airplane in Philadelphia. I'm trying to be all positive, like, it was a lovely, magical trip. I'm telling you, no wonder I like to stay home. It was so hard. Everything is so hard. The security, the parking. Our son dropped us off, which that wasn't too bad. But schlepping the bags and then going through security, I was very concerned about Maxwell because, of course, he had to have his real ID and his boarding pass ahead of time and going through it by himself. And, you know, he got all nervous, and I'm using him as an excuse. I was worse. I was like, shoes off. And in Philadelphia, I have to say, they were horrible. They were really horrible, the security. I know they have a job to do, and good for them, but they could... I know they're dealing with horrible people all the time, but I'm not horrible people, and they're like, take your scarf off, take your coat off, take your jacket off, and I'm like, oh, sorry, and I always wear this clip on my hair. Take the clip out of your hair. And Maxwell was like, you know, shoes off, and every paper out of your pocket, everything, watch off, of course, blah, blah, blah. And they're rushing us along, so that was a nightmare. That was a nightmare in security. We got through it. Then we went to, our son actually has access to a real nice lounge. So we went into a nice lounge and had a nice breakfast so I could recoup my nerves. Then we got on the airplane. Okay, I hate flying. Okay, I hate flying. I don't understand it. I don't understand how we're up in the air. I did it. I just sit there and prayed and held Maxwell's hand and tried to be calm. I was fine. We landed at Fort Lauderdale, sunny, lovely. Nope. It was a torrential thunderstorm. Torrential. Oh, it's Florida in June. It's the rainy season, right? Yeah, it was. It was the rainy season, and we landed. Well, guess what? When our baggage came out, oh, this is another thing. Back up to Philadelphia, we were like 3 pounds overweight on the one piece of luggage. So we were charged on the spot $100. Now, we could have gone out and put on clothes and put stuff. Ian, I didn't even realize it. It was until afterwards that I realized. I'm like, $100 charge? Anyway, that was that. We got a cheap airplane. It was American Airlines, and I must say they were very nice. It was a decent, nice, decent amount of room in their, you know, the plane and everything. Anyway, we get to Fort Lauderdale. Our luggage was left out on the tarmac and got soaked. Fortunately, the suits that for Maxwell and Ian for the wedding, their suits, their shirts, their ties, and all of their good clothes, I had put into a the garment bags, a vinyl garment bag. My dress for the wedding, which was real pretty, which was sort of a dark green lace, very, very pretty, was soaked. It was on the top. I was the last thing I laid on the top, and it got ruined. Big, huge. So here was the dress I was going to wear for our son's wedding. Pretty. And because I'm plus size, it took me a little while to get that. Nice, just chiffon, pretty with some lace. I have a real pretty pearl necklace. But I don't know if you can see. See what I see? This is 3 days before the wedding. This dress was soaked in the bag, in my luggage. And it's dried now. And look at the stain on it. And it's chiffon. Can't risk it taking it to the dry cleaners because I might not get it back in time and it might be ruined. So I have to go out now. Why does everything have to be so hard? Mud. My shoes were soaked. I had black shoes, pretty black sandals. They were soaked. And I had my undergarments, which were all black. They were all ruined. They were soaked. Anyway, I was like, I can't believe this. So we're making a claim for my dress and everything. And then the next day, on the Wednesday, in the rain, we had to go and get my entire new outfit, which worked out nice. We went to Dillard's down there. I was saying it was difficult to get a plus size dress at the last minute. But we found one at Dillard's, and it was very pretty, very, very Floridian and very summery and pretty. I liked it. I liked my other dress, but this was very nice. But I had to get all new undergarments because this was white and sheer, and I had to get all new undergarments in white and nude, and I had to get new shoes and new jewelry. Anyway, as I say, we put in a insurance claim. They're balking at it. We have all the receipts, we have all the pictures. The suitcase was completely ruined. It was horrible. So that was that, right on the tarmac. And then we get a taxi, and our son's house in Fort Lauderdale is 5-minute drive from the airport. Mom and Dad get a taxi. Don't get an Uber, get a taxi. He does this all the time, all the time, all the time. So he's like, get a taxi right outside. You walk outside, you get a taxi. It's about between $15 and $20. It's right there. Well, My husband had the address wrong. When we did get the address right, the cab driver got lost. Long story short, 1/2 hour later, $50 later, we're not even in the house, right? I was exhausted. Now I'm trying to be positive here because I don't want to be like a miserable person saying, you know, I want to come back and go, oh, it was a lovely vacation. It was wonderful. It was in pieces. It's just such hard work. Or I'm old. I think that's what it is. I think I'm getting older, I should say. And everything, it seemed, was a hassle. Not everything. So much was a hassle. And I don't do hassle. I sit in my little woods here with my birds, my sewing room. But I did it. Of course I would do it for our son. But I think the weekend before, in the rain, with all of the grandchildren and all of the children, all of the Trueloves, that was lovely. That was lovely. But it really takes it out of you. Man, I'm like, who had all these kids? But anyway, so that was the Wednesday. We went shopping. I enjoyed that. We went shopping. We got my dress. It turned out pretty. It was raining on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It rained on and off on Friday, and actually our son, who had business down in Florida, him and his wife popped in. They flew down. They fly down in the morning and fly home in the afternoon. I don't know. And they don't have it. They have their clothes and everything in a locked cupboard in their locked closet at their home. So they just came down with a wallet and a handbag, and that was it, right? They're like, oh, it's easy. And they left they had 3 children. They left their children at home with a nanny who's looking after them. But they're like, oh, they had some business to do. So they fly down in the morning. They flew home in the afternoon. I'm like, it's easy for you guys. I don't know. It's just so hard. It's just so hard. Anyway, our son, who was the best man, he came down. It was a Zoom wedding. We have 36 people in our immediate family. We couldn't have that. So everybody at home was having Zoom wedding parties. But my son, Jean-Pierre, was the best man. Of course, we had Maxwell. And then our daughter Malia, was a bridesmaid. For our son Elliot's wedding. I'll put up some pictures of Elliot's wedding. It was in a beautiful park with a gazebo with an equestrian center. So the whole ceremony there with all of these horses, horseback riding on the sides, it was so awesome. They rented the gazebo for a short amount of time. That was really sweet, really lovely. Hot. I prayed the whole time, like, don't be such a wuss, Jean. I'm melting, right? My hair is all frizzy. I thought, oh, it was so hot, and I perspire. I was dripping. I looked nice in my pretty new dress. I was soaked, and our son Jean-Pierre, he doesn't do the heat. Neither does Maxwell. Through their suits, they were soaking wet, but the pictures look nice. I said I gotta suck it up. Look nice for the pictures. It was. So we're in our son's house in Fort Lauderdale, and here is the groom-to-be. What do you think, Elliot? How many days before you?
It's well, I mean, it's a hair festival. No,
yeah.
How many days is it? It's on Saturday, and it's currently Wednesday, so that's 3 days. So yeah, it's
exciting.
It's exciting, but it's a little bit of not a foregone conclusion. It's nice because everything's easy and everything's comfortable. Everything feels right, and it's just this is the next step. When we went to get the wedding license yesterday, it was almost like we were just like applying for a passport together. It was just like I mean, it was nice and it was exciting, but it was just like it just felt natural. It was just like, okay, this is the next step. So everything's just progressing nicely. There's no drama. There's no difficulty.
after the pictures. It was a lovely talk. Oh, the brother who gave our talk was just so the minister, I should say, we call them our brothers. The brothers and sisters who were there from the congregation, just a few. We couldn't all be there. It's interesting, there were 194 logins on Zoom, and that's just the logins. At my one son's house, there was 25 people. So if you averaged about 4 people per login, 2 to 4 people per login, there were 600, 700, 800 people at our son Elliot's wedding. He's very popular. He is a very humble, sweet, kind, giving person who waited 33 years to find his wife, Viviana. And what a lovely couple. My glasses are fogging up. Maybe you can see that. Yeah, it was so nice. And the restaurant, an Italian restaurant, small Italian restaurant, only 19 of us in a back room. That was all that was allowed. The best food ever. And Maxwell was enjoying himself because there was a bar there. So he got, what was it, a peach mojito or something like that. He was sitting up at the bar. It was really nice. That was magical. The people, every single one of us, we didn't know them, and of course they didn't know us, they knew Elliot. We gelled, it was magnificent. That was on the Saturday. That wedding went off without a hitch. We decorated, we got some tulle, and we got some, they did the flowers themselves. Our daughter did the corsages, and it was just so lovely. She had her daughter, her sister, 2 sisters, and it was, Vivi's mother had died tragically at a young age several years ago. Her father is remarried, but she's very close with her stepmother and her stepsister, the tall girl. I'll put a picture up. But again, the minister, our brother, he mentioned her mother. It was a very touching, poignant talk. It was beautiful. And I think the pictures, I just took some snapshots. The photographer, who was a friend of theirs, we've just seen a few pictures. Oh my goodness, they are fantastically beautiful, fantastic. Anyway, that was that. I'll put some pictures up of the wedding. We came home, we had a relax, everybody went home on Sunday. Everyone went home. Malia and Justin, our son, they drove down, and they left on Sunday. Jean-Pierre had left. He flew in from Miami.